Welcome to this online unit on web mapping. I hope that the material covered here will be helpful to you, both for your coursework and for future work and research opportunities that use geomatics. My name is Paul Stephanie, and I have recently completed my Master's in Geography at the University of Guelph. My thesis involved digital cartography and spatial analysis of First Nations shellfish harvest sites in aquaculture on the west coast of British Columbia. My research interests include participatory mapping, land use and occupancy mapping, oceans governance and contested ocean spaces, international development and marginalized communities, and collaborative research with indigenous communities. This course is intended to introduce you to the ways online mapping, GIS, and digital storytelling can be used to create maps, produce data sets, and share research with others. Each of the 6 weeks in this course has been designed to expand upon each other. It is important, therefore, to fully complete each week before progressing to the next. To this end, each section will culminate with a quiz or activity, which should be completed before continuing. If at any time you have questions or do not understand specific information, it is important that these questions are fully addressed, either by communicating with other students or emailing me at pstephanie5@gmail.com. Please remember that respect for your instructors and your fellow classmates is mandatory. Incidences of inappropriate communication online or cyberbullying or shaming will not be tolerated. In order to complete this unit, the following materials will be necessary to have on hand: a notebook or journal, a laptop, tablet, or computer, and internet access for YouTube videos and unit readings. Slide 2. By the end of this section, you should be able to, first, define what online and virtual mapping entails. Second, identify and list ethical considerations for online mapping and research. And finally, to recognize the ways online mapping can benefit and harm communities. Slide 3. In a moment, after I have described the article and videos on the slide, please pause this lecture and take some time to carefully read and view the content. It may be helpful to you to take some reading notes on the article, writing down what you feel the author's argument is, as well as 2 to 3 key points that the author makes. This will be helpful in the short quiz at the end of this section. The videos in the article are useful for better understanding some of the ways government, researchers, and other groups are currently applying online mapping platforms for both physical and social science projects. The first video, GIS, Mapping Your World, specifically focuses on how GIS and online mapping is being used at Shasta College in California. What is important in this video is to understand some of the exciting ways GIS and online mapping can be used in a broad range of professional applications. The second video provides a case study for how GIS mapping has been used in Mumbai to reduce corruption. By tracking food supply chains, planning projects, and waste management, Vishal Agarwal suggests that georeferencing these variables can illustrate important patterns which allow people to better understand what problems exist and where. Pause the lecture now, and when you have completed the reading and videos, resume the audio lecture and continue to slide 4. Slide 4. The 2 videos on this slide explain, in more detail, 2 different case studies that have been used online GIS mapping in social and community development projects. The first video explains how Brazilian indigenous groups applied Google Earth to reconnect with their cultural heritage and better protect their resources. The second video details a mapping project which is helping to map informal settlements in Kenya. Both of these videos are important to watch in order to better understand the ways online mapping can be used to display and share important research data, both for researchers and the people living in collaborating communities. Please pause the lecture while you view these two videos, and then resume and continue to slide 5. Slide 5. It is important to recognize that our work as researchers can either benefit or harm the people we work with. As researchers, especially when employing online mapping tools, which can be accessed by anyone at any time, we have an ethical responsibility to protect the communities we work with, and to ensure that these communities agree with what data is shared, how they are shared, and who can ultimately view it. Take a few minutes now to watch the video featuring Monica Stevens. Consider what she is saying and how you feel about her message. As an important side note, many of the comments under this video seem to interpret Stevens' message as being Google who is purposely filtering meaning and content. It is worth considering that we ourselves ultimately filter our data and content, whether we mean to or not, based on where we upload the material, who has access to it, and the specific audiences we aim to reach. The video and journal article on slide 5 illustrates some of the harm which can occur if we are not careful in how we share or display our research data. After reading the article written by Mark Palmer and Roger Runstrom, it may be helpful to record the answers to the 3 questions to think about in your class notebook. When you are done, continue to slide 6. Slide 6. Looking ahead. This slide explains what Unit 2 will cover and the material you will need to complete this unit. For the most important materials include access to Google Earth. The final slide is a short quiz, which you should complete for yourself before you continue on to week 3.